Well, folks, the Supreme Court has spoken. And by spoken, I mean they mumbled something vaguely coherent about Donald Trump and presidential immunity. It's like trying to understand a raccoon after it's gotten into your trash. Confusing, messy, and kind of hilarious. The case revolved around Trump's attempts to overturn the 2020 election results. You know, that whole stop the steal thing that was about as effective as a screen door on a submarine. Anyway, some folks sued, claiming Trump's actions incited the January 6th Capitol riot. Now, Trump, being Trump, argued he was untouchable because, you know, president and all. But the Supreme Court wasn't buying it entirely. They gave us a ruling so nuanced it would make a sommelier blush. Bottom line, Trump's not off the hook. He might have worn the presidential pantsuit, but that doesn't make him invincible. Remember that time Trump tried to sue his way back into the White House? Yeah, good times. This case stems from one of those lawsuits, specifically the one in Washington, D.C., where he's accused of inciting the January 6th riot. Trump's lawyers argued he was just doing his job by questioning the election results. They painted a picture of a diligent leader, deeply concerned about voter fraud. The only problem? There's about as much evidence for widespread voter fraud as there is for Bigfoot being a vegan. The plaintiffs, on the other hand, argued that Trump's words were less concerned leader and more fire-breathing dragon egging on an angry mob. They claimed his actions directly led to the chaos and violence at the Capitol. It was a classic case of he said, with a side of constitutional law and a dash of, can you believe this is happening? The Supreme Court's decision boils down to this. Trump has some immunity for actions taken while in office, but it's not a free pass. It's more like a get-out-of-jail-free card with a bunch of tiny lawyer-approved asterisks. Basically, the court said that presidents do need some protection from frivolous lawsuits. After all, governing is hard enough without worrying about getting sued every time you order a Diet Coke. However, they also made it clear that this immunity isn't absolute. In Trump's case, the court ruled that his actions surrounding the 2020 election could be considered official acts. This means he might be shielded from some lawsuits related to those actions. But, and this is a big but, the court also said that inciting violence is never okay, even for a president. Section 4. What this means for Trump's future court dates. So what does this mean for Trump's legal woes? Well, it's complicated. The Supreme Court's ruling doesn't mean he's off the hook entirely. It just means the legal battle will continue, likely for years to come. The case now goes back to the lower courts, where they'll have to sift through the Supreme Court's decision and figure out exactly what it means for Trump. It'll be like trying to assemble IKEA furniture after your toddler used the instructions as a coloring book. The lower courts will have to determine whether Trump's actions fall under the umbrella of official acts and whether those actions cross the line into inciting violence. Buckle up, folks, because this legal roller coaster is far from over. Section 5, the never-ending story, Trump versus the law. Let's be honest, folks, this is just another chapter in the never-ending saga of Donald Trump versus the law. It's like a legal soap opera, only less believable and with worse hair. The Supreme Court's decision doesn't change the fact that Trump faces a slew of other legal challenges, from his business dealings to his handling of classified documents. It's like he's collecting lawsuits the way other people collect stamps. One thing's for sure. This ruling won't be the last word on Trump's legal troubles. Section 6. Buckle up, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. The Supreme Court's decision on Trump's immunity is a mixed bag. It's a win for presidential power, but it's also a reminder that even presidents aren't above the law. As for what happens next? Well, grab your popcorn and settle in because this legal drama is far from over. It's going to be a bumpy ride, folks, but hey, at least it's entertaining.